you, Manish Sabharwal, because the fear is that while India's population seems to now be outstripping that of China, where are the jobs, the opportunities going to be created for this large population that we are confronted with? How do you see these numbers that are staring us in the face now?
I mean, population was a curse. Obviously, a demographic dividend is not people, it is productive people. And I think we have to sort of put this in context. India's unemployment numbers have stayed between 4 and 8% since independence. But our poverty has been 35–40%. So I think the question to ask is really, do we have a jobs problem or a wages problem? I don't think we have a jobs problem. Anybody who wants a job can get a job. They just can't get the wages they want or the wages they need. So I would be careful with framing, linking population directly to jobs. I think we need to think about productivity. We need to think about wages. I mean, China had a huge advantage. I mean, in 1985, the trade deficit with the US was $6 billion. Now it's $310 billion. That happened because of China's population. And obviously China's ability to make the 5 transitions which we call modernity, right? Farm to non-farm, rural to urban, informal to formal, school to work. So I would be careful with just saying a population is a curse. I mean, I think actually China losing a population equal to France, a working age population equal to France in the next 7 years is a child of their one-child policy, while India has a more organic control of our population. So I would be careful with positioning populations as either curses or as gifts. It's what you do with your population and can you make them productive. And we've proven that 5 million people in India can export more software than Saudi Arabia did oil last year, or 15 million Indians outside India can send us $100 billion of remittances. So I would just position this more as a productivity problem than a jobs problem.
So interestingly, you're saying don't get into the binary of demographic dividend versus disaster. You're actually suggesting look at issues of productivity. How do you make this population far more productive? I'll just come back to you, Manish, in a moment. Alok Bajpai from the Population Foundation of India, we were told that it would be April, if I just look at numbers, by which time India would have outstripped China in its population. How should we see these numbers today?
Well, according to UN experts, India will overtake China sometime in April this year. I think India's overtaking China is not important. What is important is that India has a large young population, which is our advantage in comparison to China. And if we look at the demographic, every third person is a young person in the age group of 10 to 24 years in the country. And they have huge potential to contribute to the national economy and growth.
So
but this potential is not enough.